It's a pleasure to have you guys from Lady A with us today at Smooth Country. So thank you for taking the time, first of all.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
Now, I'm just a little bit curious because obviously we've got all these split screens going on here. So where is everybody? Just so you know, the viewers will have an idea of what's going on.
Well, I'm in Florida, so we've got some palm trees out there. Yeah, I'm here kind of. Hillary's right down the road. Actually, she's in Florida as well.
I'm in Florida too.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Dave's in his home studio. It looks like.
I'm jealous. I want to be down there too. But yeah, I'm here at my home studio in Nashville, Tennessee. So I've got this is where we write songs and kind of meet up for writing my gear here, and my hand sanitizer. So.
Okay, so I'm curious as well that how often do you guys, because we're very used to talking to individual like solo country artists here, and so if Tim McGraw, who we spoke to recently, wants to do something, he wakes up in the morning and he just does it, you know. Whereas if you're part of a band, you've obviously got to collaborate, and then you've got your families and So do you have to keep a diary, or do you have PAs to sort it all out, or do you just ring each other?
We have a continual group text going.
Yeah, I was about to say there's always something.
At least 4 to 5 times a day with each other. It's very rare to go at least maybe, over a weekend now, which is weird to say because we've always worked on weekends. But it seems now we have like the proper work weekend off. But we're always texting each other songs, what the schedule is for the next week. We went the longest time we've ever gone without seeing each other, though. At the beginning of quarantine, we went 3 months without seeing each other, and that was so strange because we've been, touring in a band almost 15 years, and so we were definitely having some withdrawals there. But the communication, though, it's always open.
That's so refreshing in a way, because we all know of certain bands who can't stand each other. In fact, when they go on tour, they even book separate hotels so that, it's that kind of thing. And you guys seem to be family, effectively, from what you're saying. You're always, getting together and so on. But how about this particular time we're in? Because look, it's been a strange one, hasn't it? So thank goodness for the technology so we can all hook up like this for a start. But do you guys, do you get together physically much?
Yeah, for some of the writing and stuff. So, we've been, like I said, working over here, working on some new music even. And, I feel like we've been in our little Lady A bubble together. We're really not doing much other than seeing each other. And some of our kids are able to go to school with masks and stuff. So it's a bit of our own little traveling bubble here. But yeah, when we're able to get over here and write, we'll try to be in person to do some of that. But we've been writing on Zoom as well and doing some weekly chats on Zoom just to stay connected too. Because it is weird, like Hillary said, to not see each other. We're used to seeing each other every single day. When we're touring, we're out and traveling 5 days a week and we're together all the time. So it's definitely an adjustment. So it's. I never thought I'd say it, but I really miss them after all this time.
I will say the one, other than family time, the real bright spot is we have been writing a ton. A lot of times when you come off the road after 3 or 4 shows in a row, last thing you want to do is write. You just want to kind of zone out for a little bit. And so we've kind of stayed really productive during this time. We've definitely written more songs than we have in a long time. Started out over Zoom, and now we're starting to try to get together when we can. But there's just a lot to talk about. We keep trying to dig a little deeper, and we feel like we've gone through, a lot of different kind of life changes over the past few years, and we're trying to put it into the music. So.
And that's great news for the fans, clearly, as well, isn't it? Because, that's what the fans want to know. What's the next song? Have you got a new album lined up? And you've just confirmed you've been working on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Will it be a question of, have you gone as far as knowing when an album may be released, or are you still working on all that stuff?
Yeah, we're ironically, we were having a conversation yesterday about that, just kind of timing and when we go in. I think right now, while we're feeling artistic, we just want to put something down and get it in the studio. We may put some more songs off of the Ocean record. We're just not sure. We're going to kind of let the art kind of dictate, where we go. I think we're trying to always put the the art before the commerce, as they say, and let that kind of lead us. And I think if we get in there and get some magic, we definitely want to put it out there, because I think people are curious to see, maybe what we've been going through, and maybe they can relate to, some of those struggles. And, I don't think this next record is going to be some, depressing or kumbaya record. But there's definitely going to be some deeper, inner struggles going on, on this next batch of songs we end up recording.
Away from the music for a second, how have you guys adapted to the situation we're in? So if you haven't been on the road for all this time, clearly maybe more time with the family. So I guess there's some positives as well, isn't there, right now?
Yes. I mean, the silver linings of such a difficult and challenging time for us has been just incredible time with our kids. I mean, our children are all, under the age of 7. My oldest is 7, and then I have twin daughters, my oldest daughter, and then twin daughters who are almost 3. And Dave has a son and a daughter that are 6 and almost 3, and Charles's little boy's almost 5. And so it's such a precious time to be able to have just months with them. I mean, going to bed every night, reading stories, getting up every morning, cooking breakfast. I mean, it's the most consistent time we've been home in their life. And so it's been amazing. It's been challenging too, I'll be honest. I've been ready for that glass of wine in the early evenings almost every day, but it's been really sweet, and just time that we'll never have back. And that is a joy for sure.
Well, you guys, I mean, and anybody, I suppose, who works in the entertainment industry or does something that they love to do, we're all very fortunate, aren't we? But I guess you're getting a sample of what everyone else does in their lives, because most people don't go on tours, and most people don't disappear from home for, I don't know, months on end. So you guys are getting a sample of what everyone else gets up to right now.
Yeah. This is the first time in a long time. I normally keep my suitcase unpacked and ready to go whenever we're, touring. So I've had everything packed up. We're home for a while and just laying low and kind of hunkered down with the families for now.
I have, though, it's been interesting. It was really refreshing the first 2 or 3 months, and now that it's gone on and on, I will say I have, luckily we've had songwriting, we're going to go in and record, but I have been a little bit down just not having that purpose, if I'm being honest. It's kind of hit a point now where I'm like, okay, what am I here for right now? And so having that schedule, you get so used to that routine and being on the road, coming home, going on the road, and to not have that, I do feel like I'm a little bit of a, floating in the wind of this year, which is, pretty interesting, but slowly but surely, I think we'll come back to, some more reality.
I get that, especially with you guys and the, that schedule you have. It's almost like a military, routine that you'll have for the road. And then suddenly it's like all day, every day, kind of, what do I do now sort of thing.
Exactly.
Well, I'm not quite sure if it's the same in your various parts of the States, but in the UK, when lockdown came, it was initially for 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. So we all thought, in March, April, we'll be done with this by the end of April, May, and it'll all be good again type thing. And then as we've all found out, it's got longer and longer, and now we're finding it's going to go through winter. So we've all mentally, and you've hit a really good point there as well, that there's an awful lot of people thinking, when is this going to end for all of us? Mm-hmm. That brings me to the point where, have you guys got any plans? Because I know some artists were talking about touring, but maybe doing it in a kind of a drive-in type situation or a, isolated crowd, or has that kind of raised its head at all or not?
We're open to anything. We're kicking around all kinds of different ideas. I mean, we're just ready to get out there in front of the fans, but of course we want to keep everybody safe, and that's that fine line you have to kind of dance.
Yeah. I think this time is I think it's making everyone in a lot of different industries have to dig a little bit deeper and get creative with how to continue to do, especially in the entertainment industry, like what we do for a living. How do we continue to do it? And to Charles's point, like I wrestled the same, like in the beginning of all of this, like kind of, I know I'm a wife and I know I'm a mom and a sister and a daughter and all these things, but like, who am I if I don't do this? Like, our bodies are just so used to that rhythm of what we do, you know, touring. And so it's definitely been a very kind of going inward and self-discovery of the other parts of who we are. And I think, and trying to like get okay with those parts of us that have had to push pause for right now. But I think the drive-in shows, I've talked to a couple of friends who have done them. They've said that they're really having a great time doing them. I mean, to Charles, what he said, again, it's however is the safest and the quickest way possible to do it. We are so ready. We don't feel like there's not a room we wouldn't play right now if it was safe to play. I mean, truly, that's where we're at.
Is that the thing you miss the most as artists? Like, actually, not the songwriting, not the you know, the practicing, but the actual in front of a crowd. Is that the number one thing for you guys?
I think I've learned how much I miss it during this time. You know, I mean, when you're out there touring a lot, you kind of get used to the rhythm of the road, and you know, you can even become fatigued with it. But now, being off the road for 6-8 months, man, you realize, like Charles was saying, how important it is, and Hillary, like, to our day-to-day, what we're used to, what we feel like we're put here to do. So I just miss live music too. I mean, we've done some virtual shows, and even just us being in a room together, being able to play, sing together, play off each other, have fun together. I mean, I just miss that entire experience of being, I just cannot wait till the first time we're able to get back into an amphitheater or an arena. And just to hear live, loud music on a Friday night is going to be so strange, but awesome. So that's kind of what I'm holding on to during this time is, man, when we get back to it, it's going to feel unreal. And so I'm holding on to that hope. Whenever that green light whenever we get a green light, we're going to be there anywhere.
Even just the sound of applause, like, again, because so much of this is just we perform a song and then it's just quiet to capture the audio to make sure that it'll, like, you know, send out and be, you know, good for everybody to hear. It's like hearing applause is just going to feel like, wow, okay, we're in a room with like other people now. This is great.
And most of us will never appreciate that. I mean, we've heard many artists over the years, and I'm sure you guys will probably say the same, that it's that reaction, that immediate love in the room, I guess, is what you guys live for on the road, right? So it's getting a bit of that back. It must be not like a drug, but you know what I mean, don't you? It's that thing.
It's a spiritual thing. I mean, there's a connection you have when you go in a room and you can tell the audience is feeling it. And they elevate you to another level too, where you start performing and just everything, you know, when an audience is kind of flat, it makes you perform really flat. And when an audience is just there with you and going through that journey, it's almost like you're all a part of the show, which is an interesting, fun, you know, elevated experience.
You're forever bonded, you know. It's like, I mean, there's something so cool about just the live show is, even though you know, when you're on a tour, you're basically doing the same show every night, the same set list. You might switch it up a bit, but it doesn't matter how many times. Every night it's a new crowd, new faces, a new experience. I mean, you hear legends talk about one show that they remember for like decades. And that just, I think, really encapsulates just the magic that happens when you're on stage.
And the rest of us can only just imagine, because you know, everybody's a wannabe musician or a wannabe singer, and you guys do it. So obviously, I can appreciate you want to get back in there and do that. I just wanted to come around because I know we haven't got an awful lot of time, but what struck me about our quick little conversation is that you're much more than just bandmates. You look like, you know, you've got a deep connection there. And you mentioned you've got loads in common with all the young children, all roughly around the same ages. So do all the families, when you can, do they all hang out together and all the kids hang out together and like all brothers and sisters in there? And B, do you ever go on the road, even local to where you guys live, and take the families with you on tour or not? Has that been an option?
Over the years, well, my little girl is 7 and she started touring when she was like 5.5 months old when we started touring with her on a bus. And so she's kind of like grew up in it. All of our children did. I know Charles's little boy wore his first time on a bus. He was like a month old, 6 weeks old. And same with Cash and Lily with Dave's too. We've all kind of been in our grooves as families. We haven't gotten our kids together, I think, as much through this time as we wish that we could have, and are, we should more, but we've all had our kids out together on the road. And, we always joke that Dave is Disneyland dad whenever all of the kids are out, because he'll get like a big bouncy house and a slip and slide, or, we'll always do fun outings. So they have memories of each other on tour and in that environment, which is really sweet. And we just can't wait to do more of it, honestly.
Well, can I just, I really do appreciate you taking time out for, to come and speak to us today. And that's fantastic. But for the fans watching now, what could they hold on to from this? Because they've obviously got a little window into your world now. So in an ideal world for you guys, what's coming next? Would it be a whole bunch of new music, or would it be maybe some of those tours we talked about, doing them in a different way? Or what would you guys most like to do next?
Oh man, I think just continue to hopefully make relevant music, and music that speaks to the fans, and I think this year more than ever is, you start thinking about, again, what's your purpose, what's your legacy, and I think we really want to be a band that represents a welcoming environment and love, and I think that's a lot of what we're trying to really represent and exude is like a positive message, because we do feel like we're pretty positive people, and feel like we've learned a lot over the past few years about ourselves and what we want to represent as a band. And I think that's going to come out in the music, but just from a live show, we just want everyone to feel welcomed and comfortable when they come, and to feel like they're a part of something special. And so, I think that's always going to be our goal, is to, of course, stay relevant, but make music that speaks to us, because usually when it speaks to us, those are always those songs that speak the most to the fans as well. They can tell when we're faking it and when we're being true. So I think that's, a big part of what we want to do moving forward, is just focus on really great, real music.
Amen.
Well, guys, it's come across very clear to me today that, the positivity and the love, that's what you guys are all about. And we can't wait, seriously, to get some more positivity and love from you. No, but to get some more new music, and for everybody to be able to get back out there and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Us too. We can't wait. And praying for the day and that it's soon.
Well, listen, Hillary, Charles, and Dave, thank you so much, and best of luck with everything in the future.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. We'll definitely be back out there. Anytime they give us the green light, that's one of our favorite places to get over and and be able to tour, not just in the States but overseas. So you will be over there as soon as we can.
Well, we'll be there with you. So we can't wait. So listen, guys, thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.